Appreciate it.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So today's conversation is all about how can you make yourself feel good? And this is something people leave to chance. But if we leave it to chance, we're likely setting ourselves up for failure because it's not something we're naturally good at. When we get into low mood states, we tend to stay in there and resist feeling good and rebel against it. So we want to at least have like 25 things that you know that you can do with intention in the moment to turn yourself around when you need to do it. So we need to almost have like build your feel good toolbox, your get happy playlist, whatever you want to call it. And the more tools you have for cheering yourself up, the more options you have to empower yourself and get yourself into a resourceful state, which will help you out with virtually any goal you have. So what I want to do is we're going to take turns going around and I'm just going to pitch some different categories out there. The idea is that all of us should have a list of 25. Okay. And then we can take that list of 25 and we can remind ourselves, hang it up, but also give it to the people that care about you so that they are empowered with tools to flip you around. Because when we're in a bad mood, we don't think straight. We become irrational. It's like we become temporarily brain damaged. Like you take a look at the thought habits of people in bad moods. It's often irrational and very limited. So we need to give this list to people. I would also encourage you to take today's conversation and teach it to other people. Like, so when I take you through the process, I want you to do this to other people because you'll learn it better and it's actually super fun. And then I'm going to encourage everybody to try a 10-day experiment where for 10 days, you decide you're not going to indulge in any negative thoughts, any negative metaphors, any negative self-talk, anything negative. If it comes upon you, great, acknowledge it, and then apply what you know to turn yourself around. Just don't sit in those mood states long. And if you do, then you have to start the 10-day experiment over again, starting at day 1. And also, if you do, you're not allowed to beat yourself up. That just makes things worse. Just laugh at yourself because it's funny and it's cute that you're doing your best, right? And the other thing is that after a 10-day experiment, if you want to go back to like indulging in unresourceful states, go ahead, go back to all the toxic thinking habits and everything else. You can always do that if you want, but typically you'll find that stuff repulsive. And hopefully you get addicted to positive thinking for life. And that would be like the ideal outcome from something like this. So we're going to talk about what puts you into a feel-good state, what lifts your mood. We're going to go around the circle. Like we'll go Wendy, Joel, Patty, and Charmaine. And Joel's life coach can share with us some of his answers too. You guys are dressed the same today. That's awesome. What? Team Blue.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing is what puts you in a good mood. Category 1 is favorite scents or aromas. The reason I'm asking this is one of the fastest ways to change the brain is through the sense of smell. So we're going to go, what are your favorite scents or aromas to put you into a good mood? We'll start off, Wendy.
Does it have to be one answer?
No, just say whatever you want.
Okay, the things that come to mind are lavender, peppermint, and fresh fruit.
Oh, love it. So I would put that down. You know, burn some lavender incense or, you know, peel some fresh fruit. Like things like that. We want to be very specific. What fresh fruit specifically? If you had to pick one.
I think it depends on the season, right? Because you got to eat seasonal, but so it depends on the season.
Seasonal, what would it be right now for you?
I'd say watermelon, pineapple.
Oh, those are like two of the funnest party foods ever.
It's good summer fruit. Yeah, or nectarines, peaches, all of that is in season.
Yes, I love peaches too. And I love to eat them and sing that song Peaches by Presidents of the United States of America. We're like millions of peaches, peaches for me. It's just a feel-good song when you're eating peaches, right? So love it. All of those. So I would put them all down.
Yeah.
Get me some watermelon, pineapple, and nectarines. Burn some lavender. Love it. Have that on your list. That'll change you around. All right, Team Blue. Joel and Son, what comes to mind? Favorite scents or aromas, smells that put you into a good mood?
For me, it's jasmine, honeysuckle, or roses.
For
Okay.
me, it's sage, lemon, and peppermint, probably.
I'm so impressed you know what sage is. Like I just learned these things recently.
We too like it, but all the ladies in our family don't. The smell of it burning, my mom doesn't like it.
I like the smell of it burning.
Me
It's
too.
pretty
Oh.
cool.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
By the way, I'm calling this 25 things that snapped me to happy.
Oh, that's a great thing to call it. That's a great thing to call it. All right.
For me, I have a bottle of Chloe perfume, and I have it in a couple places in my house, and also a travel size in my suitcase and in my purse. And if I'm needing a little uplift, I spray myself with a little perfume, and I feel amazing.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. Charmaine, what about you? Favorite scents or aromas?
Okay, coconut pretty much always does it for me. But also vanilla and almond and pineapple. So all food stuff, right?
Okay. For me, it's the smell of fresh coffee, like fresh made coffee, fresh baked bread, sandalwood. Those ones would do it for me for sure. But mostly like fresh coffee smell. I'm like, time to get stuff done. You know, the minute it just puts me into that mode, right? Okay. Now, next category. What's something you can eat or drink that you know will put you into a good mood, right? So, think about that. Take it in whatever direction you want. Something you can eat or drink that you know will put you in a good mood. Preferably not something completely unhealthy, but whatever. If the ends justify the means, all the power to you, I guess. All right, Wendy, over to you.
This might sound a little weird, but like celery juice puts me in the best mood, but it has to be fresh. It can't already be canned. Like I have to juice it, then I drink it. And there's a major difference between like organic celery and non-organic celery. They taste very different. So I would say that's one. And then I love cooking and I love enjoying my cooking, but I don't have specifics at the moment. So I'm just going to keep it at my one.
Perfect. So I just put down prepare and enjoy some fresh organic celery juice. Right? All right, Team Blue, the Blue Belmonts.
Probably watermelon juice is the best thing that I can think of right now.
That's
For
an
me,
awesome one.
For me, it's chocolate. I've kind of got a sweet tooth. Chocolate, cookies, OJ, or cherries.
Okay, you have to tell us
Awesome.
which cookies.
So I've been on kind of a Trader Joe's version of Oreos.
Yeah.
Or just like homemade chocolate chip is actually probably the best. I could like eat those till I explode.
Oh, nice. Homemade
For me-
chocolate chip cookies.
For me, it is Tetley Tea British blend. I keep a box in my in the master bedroom with a electric pot in there, and then I keep some in the kitchen as well. So wherever I need to feel happy, it's already there.
You know what's so funny? This is what I love about Patty. Just thinking about it is bringing her joy. Have you noticed that? She's like, you can't think about the things that make you happy without experiencing.
I have a happiness board. It's called my happiness and fun board. And it's everything if I'm feeling low that makes me happy or that I can do for fun to lift me up. So there you go. So I'm running off my list.
Oh my goodness, that is so funny. I love it. I love it. Charmaine, over to you.
This is going to sound like a theme, but anything pineapple and coconut. People know that. People will, if they find some random coconut thing, they'll bring it to me because they know I love it.
I am sensing a theme here.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I knew it was going to sound like that.
Nice. Love it. Love it. For me, I love butter coffee. Like just gets me like 10 out of 10 feeling good. I don't make it that much. But that's one of the drinks that does it for me, that makes me feel good. Earl Grey tea, peppermint tea. All of those. I love peppermint tea because then I feel like it's a 2-for-1 because then I'm like, hi. And it's like I brush my teeth. It's like, man, this guy's fresh, right? Like, so those are some of mine. Okay. Next categories.
Wait, have you ever, because I do this all the time, I'll brew peppermint tea and then I'll put it in a huge jug and I'll ice it. And then it's like the best iced tea ever. You don't need any sweetener, anything. It's amazing.
No, I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's the
going to
best.
try that. I love that. I love that. All right. Next category. Category 3. Where do you like to go? What locations or environments can put you into a good mood? All right. So whatever you want to say and share, let's try to get clear on what these are for all of us.
Mine would be out in nature, more specifically the beach, or sorry, something just hit my window. I wasn't sure what it was. So the beach, the desert, not so much a mountain person,
Yeah.
or like a concert. Like I love live reggae music or sporting event. Those get me super excited.
Go to live reggae. That is so cool. That is such a cool idea. I love that. I haven't done that before. That's such a good idea. I would.
You ever been to a reggae concert?
No, but it's so good. I love reggae music. I'm like, why it never even occurred to me?
That's what I was raised on. So I like have 3 concerts planned for the rest of the summer, reggae. So
I love Bob Marley. Absolutely love him. His music was so good. Like
What's reggae?
He preached love through music.
he did.
that's why I love reggae so much. It's either about love and unity or social justice or about the world. And it's just amazing. Yeah.
It ministers to the soul. It's amazing. He was brilliant at that. All right. The Blue Belmont boys.
What places do you like?
Probably in a very, very deep green, like very green, like you're surrounded by ferns and moss forest.
That's awesome.
Trees every 5 feet. That's probably the best place I can think of. Even
That
though I'm-
sounds pretty awesome.
For me, it would be trampoline park because it's not. I cannot go there and not smile. Also in the woods, hiking to a place similar like he described, kind of old growth forest. On the river, I fish a lot, so any kind of floating down rivers is really fun for me. Or hot springs. If I'm actually in the water, I prefer warmer water.
Floating down a river. I love it.
For me, 3 places. My bedroom, which I've turned in, I call it the Serenity Suite. So I love to go there. It's a great place for me to recharge and I feel good in that room. Also, I love going to the coffee shop and just sitting outside or even inside if the weather's bad. But I love being outside at the coffee shop. It just makes me feel good. And I love walking on the river walk here. It's beautiful and I can't say enough things about it. So I love that.
Nice, nice.
Okay, so for me, one of the things like theme parks or carnivals, those are always so fun. And there was this one, I mean, every time I see this ride, it just sends me into fits of giggles. But it's like they have these train cars and you face each other and you're in these triangle shaped things and it goes in a loop like this. So as they go around, they fold up together. And so you're like nose to nose with the person across from you. And it just sends me into hysterics. So you like ride around like this and it rotates around this way. And I could probably laugh for an hour straight, just continuing to replay it in my head.
That is really good. That is, I'm laughing. It brings me joy just to think about this situation. Like nose to nose, getting spun around like you're in a washing machine. Like just
And you keep holding up like nose to nose with them. It is hilarious. I don't see that ride very often, but every time I see a carnival, I look to see if they have it. So there's that. And then the other thing with me, I like going new places. I suck up any information out there. And I mean, I don't care what I'm looking at. I find just about everything interesting. And I just like to see new things and go new places and kind of explore. So that the information just feeding that to me just brings me a lot of joy.
Love it. Love it.
Patty Baker also just gave me an idea when she said that her bedroom was kind of like her like really awesome place to go to. I was just thinking about like the type of room that makes me feel really peaceful and relaxed is like when you go to get a massage and they have like the lights are dimmed and it smells nice and there's soft music playing. And it's like, why wouldn't I make our master bedroom like that? Like that sounds like such a happy, inviting place to relax instead of so much like busyness and chaos. So
It's such a good idea. I've been looking for new places to move, and I keep putting out like looking for a sanctuary type of home or type of apartment, and that's really it. We can make it that. We can make it like our own little massage place. But Patty, great suggestion.
so I added that.
Love it. For me, I like anything involving animals where they're around. So like even going to the zoo and seeing those little like Barbie doll sized monkeys, the marmosets that just get into everything, like seeing them and the little penguins that are trying to be like distinguished gentlemen in their suits and the sloth like doing its thing and just like, oh, just because you exist, I'm happy, like with its like claws and stuff. Also the cottage. Normally I'm filming from the cottage. Today I'm at home, but even this environment, actually, I really love this. This is our balcony. You can kind of see it's like we're overlooking a park. There's a pond. I don't know if you guys can see this.
All I can see are those beautiful flowers. That's all I can see. They are gorgeous.
Who's sitting there in the middle of them?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
A little dove.
What is it?
Is that a morning dove?
Morning dove, yeah. So got the morning dove chilling there with me, and yeah, we're just hanging out here. But I love it. I'm just out in the fresh air with everything and hanging out with some extraordinary souls right now. So this is a great environment for me. All right, we're going to go on to the next category. What activities can put you into a good mood? Now, this can be anything from like cuddling your favorite stuffed animal or pet to a different type of exercise, or maybe some specific reading that puts you into a good mood, or some sort of food prep or organizing, or taking things off your to-do list, or finding ways to save money. I don't know. Everyone's got different ideas on what activities mean. But what activities do you know can help turn you into a good mood?
Okay. Oh, my list just went away. Okay, so I said morning exercise. I'm not a nighttime exercise person. It has to be in the morning. I said TV after a long day. That's a little bit of my vice per se.
Now, what specifically on the TV would it be?
Oh, that kind of depends.
Okay.
I don't know. It kind of depends, because I go everything from like documentaries about nature and nutrition to period pieces to reality TV, because I don't live that life all that drama. So it kind of depends on what's on. I love TV. I'm not so much of a movie person.
Okay,
I
cool.
also said cooking, and then grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is like my number one favorite thing to do. Like going to a grocery store or a farmer's market or a local market, I will spend all of my money and be so happy.
Oh, I love that answer. That answer is so awesome. Going to a farmer's market. That you made me realize how much I like that. I forgot. Now, this is the power of having a group conversation. I'm just like, so many good ideas I didn't think about, Wendy. Awesome.
Like,
Love it.
isn't it beautiful when you just walk in and you see all the different color produce and all the different options and all the things you make? Oh, it gets me so excited.
Awesome. And then you know what's really good too? Just seeing you chat and share, it elevated your spirit. I could see it. Like, it's just like, it works. Even thinking about it works. It's so good. All right. Belmont buddies. The Belmont buddies.
Probably my favorite thing to do is cuddle with this guy. He's so fluffy.
That's Falcor.
Is he named after the luck dragon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Falcor.
Yoki. Say hi.
He's like, don't patronize me.
I love Malcor the Luck Dragon from Neverending Story. It's my favorite movie growing up.
Oh, we'll go up.
My favorite would be fishing, because it's what it used to be. I've been fishing since I was 3, and it used to be a way to. I'm fine now. It was to close the door. It used to just be a way to like figure out puzzles. Like there's a lot of like the conditions and where the fish are and what they want and all these different things. And there's all these variables. So I like it's just I look at it in life. I like to figure out puzzles, whether it's that or building things or whatever it is. I put down completing tasks. I really enjoy. I have so many things that get like halfway or 3/4 of the way completed that like it's a high for me when I can just complete something and be like done. Although instead of like celebrating it and say yes, I'm usually on to like I still got all these ones to do, so I got to get better at that. Jumping. So it's funny that I mentioned a trampoline park. We had a membership here, but we actually have a big trampoline in our backyard, so I really have no excuse not to jump. It's like literally just a step outside. Another activity would be having a dance party with the kids, which I don't do enough. I love just like blasting dance music in our house, and like all of us just kind of like dance around and have fun. And then another an activity that's really fun for me. I love campfires, but it's even better if I'm playing guitar, because I love to play guitar and I don't usually take time to do it. And so that kind of forces me because it seems like a natural environment. And it's even better if I'm in the desert under the stars at Lake Powell on our boat on an abandoned beach somewhere. But, you know, I can have a campfire with playing guitar in our backyard, so I don't have to make it complicated. Make it easy to be happy.
What an awesome list. Everything on there was just so awesome. I loved it. So good. You made me realize how much I like and miss campfires. I got to do a campfire soon. Like that's a great idea.
It's kind of like watching a piece of art that keeps changing. Like it's never the same twice. It's abstract. It's something primally satisfying and intriguing. It never gets old.
That's such a poetic way to describe it too. You just gave me a new level of appreciation for campfires, to look at it through that perspective. Love it. Love it.
Trampoline park membership takes that to a whole other level. I'm just saying. 3 things for me. I love when my bills are paid. Like if I can go through and my bills are paid, I feel great and it makes me happy. Even if I have more bills than I have money, if it's paid, is good. So I'm good like that. The other thing is I love getting my nails done. It's a great activity for me. So if I'm feeling down, I go and do that. And then lastly, what was the other thing I had here? Oh, Toy Blast. I love that game, Toy Blast. I have it on my phone and my iPad. And so anytime I'm like, I need a little lift, I'll play a couple of games of that and it makes me happy.
What the heck is Toy Blast?
Sir, I'm on level 32 something or rather here. Let me tell you, 3,252, I think. Toy Blast, you better look it up.
Toy Blast. Celine, welcome. Great to see you.
Good to see you all. Hi.
You know what makes me happy? Seeing Celine show up. Doesn't she make everybody happy? Celine, we're talking about having 25 things that can make you happy and having like a list to change your state when you need to, from unresourceful to resourceful. So right now we're all sharing on activities that we know bring us happiness. Would you like to share any activities you can think of that make you happy, things you can do, or anything at all?
Like using a brand new kitchen, you know, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, completing a project from beginning to end makes me very, very happy. The whole time it's stressful, right? Like the more stuff that you have that you don't complete, it stresses you out, right? So to have things, even little things done, makes me happy. It doesn't have to be a huge project like kitchen renovation. I think spending time with family, friends, kids, having hobbies outside of work, finding work that's enjoyable for you is also great. stretching and doing things that you don't normally don't do, or just getting out of your comfort zone and doing it. And there's just so many. Exercising, I get a high from that.
What type of
runner's high.
exercise do you like most?
Running, because it's easy. Just put on a pair of shoes. It got to be really quick and easy. Jumping on the trampoline. Right? Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
It's been a theme tonight.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know where that came from. It's hilarious. All
Oh,
right.
really?
Yeah,
Somebody
everyone's
mentioned it too?
saying that.
Ah.
It's because you can't do it and not smile.
That's like skipping. Like if
That's
you
true.
skip down the street all joyously, like you never see anyone skipping like, oh, I'm so mad to be alive. It's like, no, I'm skipping like a little schoolgirl, right? Like, all right, Charmaine, what about you? What activities bring you happiness?
This one's probably funny, but I like assembling things.
That is good. That is good.
Everything.
Buy something that needs assembled. I am the first to volunteer. They have to let me help.
Is IKEA your happy place?
I like assembling things from IKEA. It doesn't mean I need a house full of stuff, but I love assembling them. And I had like hanging out with friends, logic puzzles. I love logic puzzles. And I added singing and dancing to a good playlist after hearing yours, Joel. That's a good one. I love, and this is something people know about me, fireworks or colored lights or anything that glows in the dark or Christmas lights. Yeah, exactly. So anything like that, I'm really happy to always go and enjoy. And then I also like to try new things, especially with someone else. And it kind of like I was saying earlier, I took my friend to that restaurant. He'd never been. I get more joy out of experiencing something with someone else or introducing someone to something new. That brings me even more joy than just, doing it myself, because I get to experience it through them as well.
Sounds like variety is a good one for you.
It is. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. So for me, I love planning upcoming adventures with my wife, like travel adventures. Half the fun is in the planning and excitement, even before forget what we do when we're there, right? Playing old school video games like Super Mario or Mario Kart or Zelda, like things like that. Also, I think, here's one that I like too. Wendy, can you teach me right now how to do your laugh? Like just coach me on how to laugh like you. Like tell me the sounds, the gestures, like everything. Just coach me on your laugh.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay, so there's this, right? Like help me learn how to do your laugh. I'm so interested, respectfully.
No, I have no idea.
Okay, no problem. Joel, coach me on how to laugh like you. Oh, actually, Joel, coach all of us right now on how to do the Joel Belmont laugh.
I think it's got to be a little bit of surprise, like you weren't expecting to laugh.
Okay, so act surprised. Yeah.
And it's got to have a little bit of a start out of a high pitch, like,
Okay.
and come down low. Start high, come down low.
Okay.
And you can't do it without like a giant smile on your face. You have to have a huge smile on your face. And it's probably like more of a belly laugh, like you just really feel it through your body.
Okay, so surprised, high pitch to low pitch, huge smile from the belly. All right, I'm going to try it out, but correct my form if I do it wrong. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. All right. Did I get it?
Pretty good. I think you should try it
How could I
again.
be
though.
better? How could I be better?
Higher pitched at the beginning, right?
Extend it a little bit longer. Like maybe instead of like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe like 5 or 6 seconds.
Okay. All right, hold on.
That sounded like a toad. That's what makes
What?
me laugh.
What? Are you making fun of my Belmont laugh? I'm trying to learn here.
You gotta work on it a little bit more.
All right, can you coach me on it? I'm trying to learn here.
I don't do it, so I'm clueless. I'm sorry. I'm clueless.
But along those lines, we talked a few weeks ago about laughter yoga.
Hmm.
There's that. And I remember when I was a kid, there was a book that I checked out of the library, and it was talking about everybody laying in a circle, and you put your head on everyone else's stomach, so you make a circle, and then somebody starts laughing, and so your heads are bouncing up on people's stomach.
That is good.
We're totally different tonight.
Oh, the only way that could be better if it was in a restaurant where you have to wear costumes.
Bouncing on everyone's stomach. I heard a rumor in the chat that Charmaine assembles toilets for fun. Is this true, Charmaine? You assemble toilets?
I don't know about for fun, but I certainly have done a number of them lately. I've
Okay.
replaced everyone in my house, and then I did another one, and then I did one for my parents. And
So you know what, for Charmaine, if you know Charmaine well and she's in a bad mood, be like, come on, get out of that mood. Let's go assemble a toilet together. Like, that's gonna help get her around. So one of the things you can do is you can take somebody who's got like the most contagious laugh, you know, like everyone's got a friend or a family member, and maybe they do like an oink or like a snort or like a long goofy laugh from like Disney's Goofy or something. And you can just hang out with them, get them to coach you on their laugh. And sometimes that can do it. We're getting anybody to, I get anybody to coach me on their laugh, and I usually end up laughing. Like, it's just such a silly thing to do, and I always screw it up, and that just makes it even funnier, you know. But that's one of the funny things we can do, just as like an activity, that all of a sudden life isn't so serious anymore. It's like, what were you getting so serious for? Like, we're all human beings. Like, let's just
Write that one down. I had a friend in college that he had like a laughter club, and you would just go and for like half an hour, just like, laugh. I mean, what better way to express joy and like be happy than just to laugh? Like, that's the direct.
absolutely. So next category is specific to like, what do you like to listen to, sing, or dance to? So we want to get specific on actual songs. Like, you want to say, look, Eye of the Tiger on full blast, or like whatever the song, Don't Worry, Be Happy on full blast. Like, whatever the songs are, we want to have like, what's your go-to playlist that you'll sing or dance to? Like, how do you take it in? Do you go windows down with the wind in your hair singing? Or is it like singing in the shower, like belting out Bon Jovi in the shower? Like, whatever it is, what's kind of like your musical like go-to? Wendy, what comes to mind for you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't unmuting. I definitely need to think about an actual song because I'm not sure, but I know like when I'm too much in my head or stressed out, I turn on a nutrition podcast and I learn something, so then I get out of my own head. And that's really helpful for me. I like there's a couple that I like, but I think my favorite one is Mark Hyman's like Farm to Pharmacy podcast. So that's every day. You'll catch me at some point, typically in between meetings, like listening to that, because then I can just learn and like put my energy that way. So that's what I would say. I do need to hop off in a minute, but I just want to say thank you. This is so syncretic that we're doing this, because the other day I was talking in a clubhouse room and I was saying it's so important to kind of have your arsenal, and I called it an arsenal, like your arsenal of like go-to practices or go-to things that make you like kind of lift up your mood or supercharge your day. So it's cool that we're doing this, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the recording later.
Awesome. You were amazing out there today. It was awesome to be able to hang out with you.
Yeah, bye everyone. Have a good night. Thanks.
See ya. All right, Joel and Belmont boys. The Belmont boys. What do you got for
I was going through my list. What do you got, Samuel?
There's this guy on YouTube that I really like listening to. His channel name is CJ5. Basically anything from him I'll listen to.
Okay, what does he talk about?
It's more gaming. If you're a gaming guy, then you like that.
Nice. Nice. Absolutely. Like if we're into gaming, like that would fill our passion for sure. For sure. I'd probably enjoy it anyway because I grew up doing old school video games. Like I'd get a kick out of it anyway, I'm sure. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
There's some Mario stuff in there.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
So I had to look at my playlist that I play for our dance parties. I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night.
Oh yeah, that's a great tune.
Pharrell Williams, Happy, 'cause I'm happy. Adventure of a Lifetime, which is a Coldplay song. I love Coldplay, but it's a really good one. Love Shack, the B-52s. Staying Alive, Bee Gees. Like you can't listen to that and not just like get in a groove. Anything by the Beach Boys. I kind of grew up with the Beach Boys, so like Fun, 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 Surfing Safari, 409, all those songs. And then I added I'm Too Sexy because I just can't take myself seriously if I listen to that song. Right, little Right Side Fred.
Love it. Love it. Great playlist. And I thought for sure there's going to be a lot of 80s on Joel's playlist. Lots of 80s music.
I missed it. Is it PJ5 or PJ5?
What are you talking about?
CJ5. C.
Oh, C as in Charlie.
Yes.
Okay, because I just looked up PJ and I didn't find it. So there you go. I'll be back. I'll be back about that in a second. So I have a Spotify list called La Fuega, the fire, and it's my happy list. And this is my latest one.
Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body liner. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time.
So that's my happy song.
Oh my gosh. I love that you got your La Fuega happy playlist.
It's part of my happiness board too. I got play Spotify La Fuega list. If I'm feeling down, I go to that board. I go, okay, what can I pick from? And that's in the list.
Nice, nice. Love it. Celine, what about yourself? Any specific things to listen to that bring you joy?
I have a lot of songs, but I don't have it in my head right now. But I remember The Dip. That song I go, when I dip, you dip, we dip. And like, I felt like if I've ever in a dip that I get into that and song and it makes me really happy. I love a lot of songs by Pitbull because they're very positive, and they make me want to dance. So I like that. Rocky theme I listen to as well. So a lot of the songs that we heard at UPW, makes me really happy. Yeah.
That's
Especially
awesome. I gotta give Pitbull another listen. I didn't realize it was positive.
Yeah, all of his songs are positive.
Really?
Yeah, and they make you want to dance too. So
Nice, nice. And kudos on the Rocky one. I totally forgot the Rocky theme song. Like, what am I thinking? That is totally one of the best songs to get pumped.
yeah.
Like, you just start your day, you get out of the shower, press play on full blast to Rocky, put on your socks. You're like, yes, this is happening.
Mhm.
And can I just say, beautiful kitchen behind you.
Yeah, thank you. I finally have a nice kitchen. It's been so long.
Congrats.
Yeah, it felt like I traveled in time because I had such an old kitchen before.
Nice.
Future.
Charmaine, what about yourself?
Well, some songs I like because they pump me up, and some of them I like because the words I kind of relate to, and it could be inspiring in a different way. But like one of the songs, if you're talking about something that's just kind of fun, is Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself. I don't know if you guys know that one, but it's hilarious.
I can play that one. That's a great song.
That is a great song. It belongs on everybody's playlist. 50 Ways to Say Goodbye is another one that's really funny. But a lot of the songs I like are like One Republic, like Feel Again or Good Life or I Lived. let's see, Best Day of My Life, Breakaway. I mean, so some of it just depends on what you're trying to, how you're trying to shift your mood too. Whether or not you're trying to inspire yourself to do something more, or you just want to be in a happy mood, or whatever the case is. But yeah, Dare You to Move, that's another good one. It's not a really fast song, but again, it's more inspirational and kind of gets me to, kind of step up my game in a different way.
Love it. Love it. I like one of my favorite groups for getting into a good mood is the Beatles. I think very underrated, but some great songs. Here Comes the Sun, Imagine by John Lennon, like so many good tunes. I also like, if I need to improvise something, I'll just like sing the tune of Indiana Jones, like dun 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 dun, dun, and get people all pumped up, like we're getting ready for something. I also love like the Les Miserables soundtrack, Back to the Future theme song, like all those songs kind of like put me into a good mood like right away. I'm also really big on improvising song and dance and making up the lyrics on the spot. I do this all the time with my wife in the kitchen, improvise kitchen dance parties on the spot. And I almost like, so I do this kind of thing. Like she knows I do it almost every day. Like and if we're in public, I'll just make up a song and like get her into it. And anyway, so totally it's great for just changing state. All right, next category. What do you like to watch that can bring you into a good state? What do you like to watch? Now, this can be video clips of something very specific, like a certain animal or a certain character or person or one of your favorite Muppets, like the chef or animal, whatever. It could be movies by a favorite actor, like Bill Murray movies, with like Ghostbusters or John Candy movies or whatever, like Tom Hanks. I don't know. It could be watching old people like that are still in love, like walking hand in hand, or watching kids play in the ocean, whatever. Like just what do you like to watch that, or movies, TV shows, what do you like to watch that brings you joy? And I think we got Team Blue. Team Blue is up first.
Probably fireworks, like these big cakes. These ones.
But
Yeah.
is there any shows you like to watch?
Shows more like big ones. The mortars
No,
are
like
that
TV
size.
or like movies or.
Movies for Disney movies probably.
Oh, that's a great idea. What are your favorite Disney movies?
The Onward movie that just came out. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Star Wars, believe it or not, that's Disney.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
That's probably it. I can't think of anything else.
So
Okay.
I'm just gonna be the first one to say it, but cat videos where there's like cats with cucumbers behind them, or like cats falling off of things, like that. It's pretty much. It's hard to not be in a good mood watching stuff like that. Since Patty mentioned it, I think I'm gonna add Nacho Libre, or no, that was Charmaine that mentioned it. The costume. That's like Jack Black's like crowning achievement. I just wish they could have a part 2 without it being bad. I added like Jim Carrey, pretty much a lot of Jim Carrey movies.
Yeah.
Liar was probably one of my favorite movies for a long time. And I really like. I mean, I love comedies. Oh, I should add The Holy Grail, Monty Python. I love Monty Python. But I added dramas. Like, I really love things that just tug on your heartstrings, like emotional movies, like Forrest Gump, or like just movies where you just get the whole roller coaster of emotions. I know that Tony talks sometimes about the hero's 2 journeys, and he uses Mr. Holland's Opus as an example sometimes. And any kind of movies like that where you just see transformation, like people that have these really tough challenges and overcome them, and you feel like you're there with them, like going through it. I love just seeing anything of transformation.
Yeah, great suggestions. Great suggestions.
I like watching YouTube videos of comedians, and my top 2 are Angela Johnson, and the other one is Sebastian Maniscalco. I think they're hilarious.
How do you spell that? I'd like to check them out.
I'll get you the name.
Love it. Love it. All right. Celine, what about yourself?
I don't really have anything that I like to watch. I guess I do like to watch lots of YouTube videos on interior design. And there's this guy who's Canadian. It's like his name is Nick. I forget, Carter or something. Can't remember. He is so funny. I just like watching this character. And then there's another guy who does hair. I don't even do hair. I mean, the crazy things that he does. His name is Guy Tang. He makes these cheesy like 80s style music videos, grunge rock, and he's always so glam, and his hair is like beautiful, and he also is a really amazing hairstylist, a hair colorist, and he's super gay, and he has a reality TV show. But I followed him on social media, and then I watched him on this reality TV show that is kind of like Crazy Rich Asian, and they make me laugh a lot. It's just over the top personality. It takes my mind off of things. Oh, and The Bachelor and Bachelorette, those are mindless entertainment that takes my mind off of things as well.
Perfect. Love it. There you go. You were like, I didn't really have anything. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got a lot. I got a lot more than I thought. That's how this usually goes, which is great. And then when we share this list, like if you share it with your husband, he'll be like, okay, great. Next time he sees that you're kind of getting edgy, he's going to be like, it's time for us to watch The Bachelor. How do you feel about watching The Bachelor tonight? You know, like, Charmaine, what about yourself?
Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen it. Have you seen Impractical Jokers? I don't know if you know.
Excuse me.
So it's hit and miss, but some of it is hilarious. And I love just some of the stunts they pull. They'll go into a grocery store and they'll like compete to try and pitch like rolls of toilet paper and put it in someone's shopping cart to see who can get the most in. I mean, some of the stuff they do is totally ridiculous. Or they'll clip pins onto people with balloons, and you know, whoever gets caught doing it like loses. But I mean, just some of the things they do and the ideas are crazy, and it cracks me up.
That's awesome.
Also, I had to add Melissa McCarthy to my list. Both my wife and I just crack ourselves up because she's such like the queen of like self-depreciating humor. It's fantastic.
Also, I have to add in there, since we're talking about TV shows, I have to add Beavis and Butthead.
She hasn't seen very much of.
Oh my gosh, I love that he added it in. That's so good. I forgot about that. Beavis and Butthead. You know, The Simpsons. I like watching The Simpsons. I think it's hilarious. Homer and Barney and all the different characters from The Simpsons. But for me too, I watch this thing now. My wife and I watch. It's called Useless Farm on TikTok. And it's this lady who's got this farm and she's hilarious. And all of her animals have their own weird personalities. Like she's got these emus and stuff. And we just watch it and we're just howling, laughing. The emu looks like an old lady in a fur coat. And it's like really prissy and stuff. And but it's called Useless Farm. And it's like our main like pick me up is just watching these TikTok videos by this lady. And so that's one of the ones there. Tilly G the tortoise on Instagram, the Raccoon Whisperer, this guy who lives there on the East Coast, feeds like 25 raccoons. We'll watch the videos because we just think his personality is so charming and sweet and funny. So those are kind of the things I'm into right now. But you know, I could always watch an old Muppets movie or show, and that's always like good feel good stuff too. And anyway,
I kind of feel like you're the Raccoon Whisperer.
Sorry?
I kind of feel like you're the Raccoon Whisperer.
You know, I felt like one last year, and I didn't even know he existed. I was just like, you know, but this year it's more about chipmunks. 2021 is the year of the chipmunk for me.
There's some Jim Carrey movie, I think it might be Pet Detective 2, where there's a scene where he's just like going, "You're maybe it's something and there's like all these animals like clinging to him and like birds flying off of him and like all these things. And I feel like that's you sometimes with all the animals like flocking to you and you're like, oh.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, next category. This is a good one. What can you think about? Can you think about to put you into a good mood? And it could be anything from a specific thing to focus on, or it could be something like a specific favorite memory, like a childhood Christmas, ripping open gifts, or like a favorite life moment that just brings you joy every time you relive it in your mind. Like, what are kind of like your thoughts or memories can get you back to that happy place?
Did you say feelings or thoughts?
Thoughts or memories?
I think love is up there. I mean, any kind of like memories of like family moments when you just have really fun times. Like I'm kind of convinced at the end of, you know, this experience, and I think that life just carries on and it's just transitions to whatever comes next. But I think at the end of this one, you're just going to remember all the really good experiences you had. I mean, you're not going to remember how much you made or the things that you acquired or whatever, you know. It's really the joy that you've had that you share with others and the love that you share. So for me, the thoughts or memories would just be like the great ones with family, whether we're out having adventures somewhere or dance parties or whatever it is.
Yeah, so some of your happiest moments are family dance parties, family adventures, and probably just remembering, I'm sure remembering some of them just brings you joy.
Yeah, and actually, we have our hallway. I mean, obviously, I'm a photographer as well, but I just have taken photos from so many of these different adventures, and our hallway's like, you know, 3 or 4 photos down by like the whole length of the hallway with, you know, 5x7 photos, and there's just different ones. And like one wall is all fishing stuff, and one's all Lake Powell and our adventures and beaches and travel and hunting and stuff. And yeah, it's fun to just walk through that every day and just relive those memories to keep them like top of mind of when we're in the Bahamas on a beach, or, you know, this is the one that I keep by my desk. This is Samuel when he was probably 2 years old, and this is in the Bahamas. Just remembering the kind of the fun stuff, you know.
That's awesome. You nailed it. You nailed it. And you took it up a level because you're keeping those memories close, right? Which would be something I would say next. Like, how can you keep those memories close? And you're printing out pictures of this stuff. Love it. Amazing.
I don't have anything like that, and I don't even have anything on my list. So now I'm at a loss, man. I was cranking them out here a minute ago,
Want
and
some
now I just
help?
got stalled out. But one of the things that I do like to do is go back because I copy and paste all of the positive notes that come out of my ministry work. And so I like to go back and read them, and it makes me happy that people's lives are being transformed. So I do that more for encouragement than just for happiness. But one of the things I really like to think about is planning trips. Like, I love to plan trips. So if I want to think about something, it's usually future generated.
You know, you had one of the best answers, even though you said you didn't have any answers. Thinking about people whose lives you've transformed, reliving that, like, how can that not make you feel good? When somebody's like, Patty Baker, you did so much for me. I'm so grateful to you. And just replaying it. One of the things I would do is I would coach other health professionals to save all their testimonials. And at times when you're feeling discouraged or your enthusiasm's been dampened, take them out and reread them. And then remember why you're doing this. Fill yourself up with that sense of purpose and passion, right? So reread all those testimonials and relive all those past successes.
I'm adding it to my list right now.
I'm looking forward to seeing you, Patty, on one of your trips.
No kidding.
San Francisco.
I love the idea of writing things down too. I had a teacher in Christian Science that I took a 2-week course that allows you to be a practitioner, and he would say to keep a journal of all the healings that you have, so that whenever you're faced with a challenge, and like there's a little voice that says, "Nah, you can't handle this. This is something that can't be, this is too big for you." Then it's like, no, I got all, my whole life, I've got written down that I've proved this again and again and again. And so, yeah, I think anytime you can, like, with the testimonials too, anything that you can just document that proof and come back to it and be like, bam, it's there, done.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. Just stay in touch with those references that give you permission to feel good.
And Samuel had to share too.
One thing I remember that really cheers me up is one of my earliest memories when I was 2. No, more like 2 months old, actually. When we went to the Bahamas and my mom was carrying me in the water. And then I can remember all these stingrays just swarming in a circle around us. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
Wait, I think we have a picture of
Anyway,
it.
yeah, they're raised in the water. They feed them there. They're cool.
That's awesome. I love it. He's amazing. He's adding so much joy to my day.
It's really good for him too, because he gets in his head a lot and he focuses on the bad stuff and he looks for everything that's wrong. And so it's a really good practice for him to learn to focus on a list of things that makes you happy, because that's a good exercise for him.
Yeah, good for all of us too.
And it also demonstrates too how quickly that of a child, right? And so to just get back to that level, and it also demonstrates what great parenting skills you and Lily have. So shout out to you all.
Yeah, love it. Love it. All right. I think, Celine, do you have anything to share on this one?
Yeah, I often think about the big stuff, like my getting married, being with my family, bringing my 2 children in the world, my dog, who just passed away. It's kind of tough though, but and all the trips that I've had the fortune of taking. All those things make me really happy in a second. It makes me really happy.
That's good. I love it. You inspired one for me. Favorite pets from the past. I can think about some of those favorite pets and it brings me happiness to just think about some of those cute, funny memories. Still bringing us joy. That's the legacy. The legacy lives on through those memories that still bring us joy and love and amusement.
Yeah.
Thank you. You inspired me with your answer. I love it.
Good.
Charmaine, what about yourself?
So one of my favorite ones lately is, now that we all have cell phones and we're taking pictures and they get uploaded to all these services, a whole bunch of them have things where they're like, oh, here's what you did a year ago. Here's what you did 2 years ago and all of that. That is such a treasure trove of memories for me. And it's not even these formal pictures. And like I had one the other day that popped up and I resent it to a friend of mine. It was a close-up picture of my eye. But like I said, it's almost like these are better pictures because they're so random, and we had never met, as a coworker that worked somewhere really far away. And we had been joking, like, we don't even know what the other one looked like or what color eyes they have. And both of us took a close-up picture of her eye and happened to do it on the same day and sent it to each other. And so it's just hilarious. And so I see this eyeball and it's, it brings back all those memories. And so it's almost like the more random they are, the better the memories and the more joy it brings.
I think you should send it with a little line of text that says, I appreciate you.
But then not only do I get the joy, I reshare it and they get the joy again too, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Love it. Chris, are you there? He might be in, he might be out. We'll welcome him in if he joins. Okay, I'll talk about some of my memories. Getting married on an Alaskan cruise with my wife and all my family there was we got married in front of the glaciers. They were like calving into the ocean behind us. It was a sunny day, right? Like up in Alaska. That was a favorite memory for me. A lot of like the unlikely successes I've had have been favorite memories. I was once on a volleyball team that was very successful. We were in the world's biggest volleyball tournament, Guinness Book of World Records. We made it to the top 8, even though our team was just a bunch of people who hadn't played volleyball in 5 years. We just got lucky like every single game and squeaked through. They had like helicopters taking pictures of our game, and it was just so funny because we're like, we have no business being here. We're like the worst team ever. So like playing on crappy teams that do really well always brings me joy, like memories like that. And think about sports growing up, and how much my parents loved me and supported me, like taking me to sports and baseball. And they were just so active and invested in that whole process. And a lot of like our family vacations growing up at the cottage, fishing trips and campfires and everything else, and just reliving all of those bring me a lot of joy for sure. Now, here's the next category. This is all about ways of living your highest principles or values. When you live your highest principles and values, it brings such a lasting happiness. So this could be, I'll talk about some of the things that it might be like, and some of the things that it is for me. One is talking about spirituality, right? Is a way of living a highest principle and value, because I think that's so important. So doing that brings me happiness, right? Helping friends make friends with other friends, because I'm all about connecting people, brings me happiness. Responding to criticism with kindness brings me happiness. For example, I just posted on TikTok a video of a whole bunch of geese running over to me. Okay. And I think I haven't looked in a while. I posted it last night. I'm just going to see what it is on views. It's okay. So it's at 450,000 views. But one of the comments somebody made, he said, I can't wait to hunt them. Right. So it's like such a feel good video. I'm petting the geese and everything else. And he said, I can't wait to hunt them. And then I responded with, you can hunt them, but there's one thing you can't do. You can't get me to negatively judge you. You have my respect no matter what. And then the guy was like, oh, well, even though I hunt them, I love them too. Thanks, man. Like this, like kind of like cool. And then so it was like very positive, our exchange after that. And it was just like, that could have been a comment made to trigger a reaction and stuff. But I'm like, the part of somebody that makes them act that way is usually some expression of inadequacy. And so I was just making them feel unconditionally accepted. But to me, that brought a lot of joy, because I was just like, I told my wife, I said, honey, look, because I'm all about, if we're doing that, I want to use it some way to be a force for good. I'm like, look, on this new post, I put this example and I pinned the comments so I can role model how to respond to negativity for everybody who's seen this thing, because it's going viral, right? So that was a way to do it. Focusing on what you can be grateful for in the moment. If you value the attitude of gratitude, just acting on that can bring you happiness. Calling up a friend to encourage them or tell them you care about them and talk to them about ways they've made your life better. That could be a way. So these are some different ways that you can live out your highest principles and values. So let's go around. Excuse me. Let's go around and Team Belmont. What are some ways that just come to mind? It doesn't have to be exact to this ask or this subject, just anything that comes to mind for that.
I mean, what you said about, spiritual growth and studying, that direction is something that always is deeply satisfying for me. Just to learn more about our connection with our Creator and how we're an expression and a reflection of that infinite wisdom and love and kindness and joy. And I also like helping those in need, which I don't do often enough, and I'm going to start doing more. And also helping kids, or I like in college, and after that I did like Big Brothers Big Sisters of America and some other programs where it's like inner city youth and stuff that needs better quality mentors. Done some mentoring, so anything that's just really helpful or growing spiritually is great.
Love it. Love it. And for you, I know one of your areas that you're passionate about is advocating for the homeless,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a bright future. And right now, this is all part of your training grounds for that, man.
It
Well,
is.
Yeah,
Sure.
like every session we do is more curriculum in your toolbox for when you go down there. And when you do, we're all going to support you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What more would you need in a place of where you're feeling of low mental esteem than to generate a list of the things that make you happy and to bring you joy?
And
To
it's always
focus
such a happy conversation.
Yeah.
This
Focus
is
on-
never a sad conversation.
Yeah. Focus on gratitude and the good that is and what makes you happy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Love it, brother. Patty, what about you?
One of my principles that I live out is loving your neighbor. And so I, every few weeks, take a meal to one of my neighbors. So I don't cook it all the time. Most of the time I prepare it, like I'll get one of those rotisserie chickens or a couple of those, or I'll order pizza, for our family. But I love doing that, and it makes me feel good. It makes me happy, and it brings me joy.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah, I'm writing that one down too. I pretty much write down everything Patty Baker says.
And this month I did gourmet cupcakes, and next month I'm gonna do cookies. Last month I did popcorn, and I put a little card in with it in a little sleeve that says just popping by to say love you neighbor, like that. So
That's such
Oh.
a great idea. I gotta steal those.
Oh, no stealing. She's giving it to you. We don't steal here. There's no need. Everyone's just giving. Celine, what about yourself? Do you have any thoughts or ideas?
Oh, this is a tough one. I don't know. I think that, yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, here's something. Setting an example of hard work for your family.
Yeah, that's definitely something I try to do.
Yeah, you definitely demonstrate that. Just demonstrating good work, being a good role model on work ethic.
Yeah.
Or maybe the feeling of when you've connected a client with the perfect property for them and they're writing you awesome reviews.
Yeah. That was so nice.
Yeah, so it's I mean, you think about all the things you value and you consider important, and going out there and living it can often bring you joy. Just getting projects and stuff done, that you're a person who just values getting stuff done. So just getting out there and just getting stuff done, that can bring you joy, right?
Yeah. I am a doer. That's really high on my list. I have to get stuff done.
So just be like, what needs to be done? What needs to be done? Time to get it done. Turn that frown upside down, right? Like,
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
see, you got lots of ideas.
Thank you for helping me.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're a team helping each other out. Charmaine, what about yourself?
Okay, so I'm not known to be a gift giver necessarily. It's not where my gifts lie, but I am someone who gets very inspired to give people certain things, and it has to be very attached to who they are or something they've said. So I don't give for the sake of giving, I give very deliberately. So I have a friend who's lactose intolerant and made a comment once that, it would almost be worth getting sick to have cinnamon rolls. And so that was a case where I felt inspired. I could make him cinnamon rolls without any kind of milk or anything in it. And so that was a very personal gift. So I like to give personally like that. I also like to, when I feel compelled that I need to say something or deliver a message to somebody, I try to always honor that and give it, not be attached to the results, but I feel like I'm inspired to say that for a reason. And then kind of along something I do a lot at work, but it's really close to the core of who I am. I like to help empower others to kind of fill the role that they're, playing in work in particular, because a lot of times they don't feel supported. And I think it's important that they feel supported, but also that I help them find their voice so they can kind of stand up for themselves and, you know, assert themselves, and people will respect them more in the role if they're able to stand up and kind of say, here's my role, and this is, you know, you need to come to me for this, or whatever it is that I need to support them. And trying to teach the team to value doing the right thing versus having an ego or trying to defend the status quo. Because really, we don't care about the past or why it is the way it is. We just want to take a fresh look today and try and make things right. And the more you can get people to let go of that and not take that so personally, the more we can accomplish and the more we can get done and improve things. And I think some of my greatest joys have come from people on the team, you know, just stepping in and doing the right thing without anyone having to prompt them, where you can see that transformation. That is so rewarding to me. And that'll drive me forever.
Love it. Love it. I have one I want to add. I mean, I know I gave some examples. Sharing empowering wisdom to those in need. Because somebody gave me a comment that they had watched some of our group conversations and felt so blessed, and they felt so grateful for having been able to partake in our conversations, just observing it after the fact. And every time we do a talk like this, it's a gift to other people. Right. And so I think that is us living and sharing our higher values, which is, you know, people care about people, right? And just demonstrating that. So I applaud you all in doing that, because every time we get on here and talk, it's a gift of love. It's a gift of love and wisdom to other people out there, and other people matter and we care about them. So just to summarize how we would apply all this, you know, you can come up with more categories if you want. Those are kind of like the main categories I thought of. And I just kind of improvise them. Like, it's not really, I don't know if there's official categories to happiness and stuff, but come up with at least a list of 25, keep adding to it. Keep it within reach or hanging up somewhere. Get people to spot you and get you to do these things when you need to be uplifted. Find people to teach this to, this whole drill. And I would encourage all of you to teach it to someone as soon as you can, right after learning it. If you have to teach it, it'll really cement it in. And then I'd encourage everyone to consider a 10-day challenge, refusing to dwell on any unresourceful thoughts or feelings. Like, try to turn yourself around. As Joel would say, snap yourself back to happy, and then see if you can go 10 days in a row. What this will do is you'll be aware of all the patterns that hold you back. You're going to make your brain keep practicing the discipline of shifting your mood state back. Hopefully get addicted to this, get addicted to feeling good. And you can always go back to the toxic patterns after if you don't like it. The things that'll hold people back from actually succeeding is, one, laziness. If we decide that this work doesn't matter, we will never commit to the process. Two is fear, like thinking that our bad moods actually help us more, right? And being afraid to let go of that kind of habit. And then the other one is just living on autopilot, like just being like a robotic automaton out there and just following your old emotional patterns because of the routine, and always dredging up your old responses to everything. So those are the only things that can hold us back. But other than that, I mean, might as well live to be happy. Why live to be anything other than happy? Like, I just don't think anything else is worth it, right? So let's go on to key takeaways for tonight. Key takeaways for tonight. Team Blue.
What's a takeaway from all of this?
I have two, a takeaway and something else. The takeaway is probably, I like how if I hang on to things a lot, it makes me feel pretty bad, but if I talk about it, like tonight when we were talking about the different things that we all like and to do, that's pretty good. I like that. And then next, I just remembered a song by CJ5. It's called "Good to Be Alive." It's just the song itself is good. All the songs themselves are good, not the music videos to go with them. Just listen to the songs. Don't look at the screen.
I love it. You know, I love when you articulate what's on your mind. Like the way you talk brings me joy. I love hearing you share your thoughts on everything. It was certainly a highlight for me tonight was having you join us and hang out with us.
Thank you.
And I loved your answer about going into a deep green forest with the mosses and everything else. I'm like, oh, I love that. That's so cool and so rich and magical.
Nice. My takeaway is just that we have, I mean, you know, it's really what we focus our attention on becomes our experience. Like, so why wouldn't you want to have a toolbox of things to focus on the good stuff? It's like the stuff, you know, they should teach you this in first grade or something. Like, you know, in life, there'll be lots of times when you have options to not be happy. Keep a toolbox of all the things that you could think about or dwell on to be happy. So just this whole concept is great. And as you mentioned, being able to teach that to other people that may have, you know, low self-worth or low value, you know, low mental energy of how to, you know, empower them to be, you know, happier whenever they want to is great. Another takeaway is to, you know, with a significant other to like have them go through the same process so that it's like love languages, right? It's basically, so it's like, it's great to, you know, to exchange the lists almost just so you know, like how people like to be appreciated or what makes them happy. Because the way that like, what makes me feel appreciated is not the same thing that makes my wife feel appreciated. They're, you know, they're two different things. You know, when I clean up areas on our farm or whatever, it's like she feels super appreciated, or like the porch. So, and then another takeaway was, you know, one of your comments a couple of minutes ago about, you know, that we have all this junk come up and just letting things go. You know, just this afternoon, I was thinking about, I have a younger brother that we kind of had, I probably mentioned it once before, we kind of had like a little bit of a falling out like last fall, and I haven't really heard from him much. He's a new dad, so he's got a lot going on. And I sent him some nice supportive letters and stuff, but I feel like there's a little resentment or something there. But in my own thinking, as I, you know, sometimes I just sit and dwell on this garbage, and it's like self-justification of like, well, you know, I'm kind of right about this, and it's his loss, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a minute. It's like love is the only thing that transforms things. My only job is to love things, and to love people and to cherish people and to make them feel loved. You know, I mean, that's what Jesus did. Like his whole mission was love. And so it's just a great reminder today to be, you know, to stand porter at the door of thought, and to, you know, to not let in the stuff that's not going to take us any higher, to really be watchful of that. And so for me personally, it was really about, you know, to how can I hold on to this, you know, this idea as loved and cherished and beautiful, and not be willing to entertain any other idea but that. Not to lower my thought any, but bring it higher.
Love it. That was one of your best shares ever, man. That was amazing.
It's all about love.
Yeah, that was so good. That was so good, dude.
We can get distracted from it externally. We can certainly distract ourselves from it. But at the end of the day, like, all that matters is the love that we, you know, that we share.
I actually believe any block in our happiness is some sort of block in our ability to be as loving as we can. I believe the two are hinged much more than we think.
Amen and amen.
All right, next up, Patty Baker. Key takeaways from tonight.
Well, I have struggled with compulsive overeating and food addiction, and went through 12-step Overeaters Anonymous program, had a sponsor, and finally became clean from that back in 2007. And part of my getting clean was developing a list of things that make me happy other than food. And so this list has developed, you know, over the years. And so I think that, you know, we have hurts, we have hangups, and being able to do things that make us happy kind of breaks us away from that cycle of poor habitual tactics. Maybe you can come up with a better word, but outlets that are unhealthy for us. And so it's good to replace them. And at the same time that they would be a healthy replacement for us and uplift us. So this was good to kind of break out my list and go through it and add to it tonight from everyone else's share. So thank you for that.
And you bring up a good point, which is, you know, we can come up with our list and then we can kind of edit our list with, you know, the healthiest options. Right. So it's like, we can go back to it and we can be like, you know what? I came up with a list of 50. Maybe I don't need all of these like sour candies. Like maybe I could, you know, have some berries instead, right? Like maybe I can start to edit it for quality after the fact. Right. So you brought up a good point.
I love the concept of replacing things. It's so important with habits, and a lot of people don't think about it. They think it's just cold turkey. And even what you were mentioning, like I mentioned that like chocolate and sweets is one of my things. But like berries, fruit, like that's sugar, but it's like good for you sugar.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic idea. And I do stress eat sometimes. And it's good to be mindful of that. Like, what am I really trying to accomplish here?
Mm-hmm. Charmaine, key takeaways from you.
I think something that was interesting. I mean, I don't really have a list of things that I had prior to this. I mean, I kind of know some things that make me happy, but having a go-to list I think is good. And just as we were going through it, I mean, at the beginning, especially when we were talking about like the coconuts, and people know how much I like that. I think, you know, the idea of sharing this with other people and getting lists from other people, that can be extremely helpful in just us dealing with people who, you know, we find ourselves in bad moods from time to time, and knowing how to shift someone out of that without necessarily drawing attention to it, I think can be really powerful.
Yeah, that's such a great point. Knowing how to shift people out of those moods without drawing attention to it. Because people in bad moods, if they know you're trying to get them out of a bad mood, how do they respond?
They resist. They dig in the heels.
It's so irrational. This is a key takeaway for me, knowing what Joel actually thinks of me. And this is his link he sent us of Ace Ventura with all the animals on him. Anyway,
it's like this crescendo moment when he's like one with all the animals, and I see you as one with all the animals.
You know, I don't know why you would say that, but I do have to show you. There is one clip that brings me joy, and it's this. I don't know if you saw this one. This is I took it. This is a chipmunk vacuum cleaner I invented.
This is a chipmunk vacuum cleaner.
And you can see him just like eating everything up.
And they love this game.
Like that one brings me joy right there. Like what else was it? This was the geese today.
Come here. I know you're all
I
grown up.
posted.
Come here. Come on. Come on.
This was the post I mentioned where they all come running over.
Come here. Come here. How y'all doing?
Those guys
You
make
are
me
so
happy.
grown up now. This
They
is
get
awesome.
so excited.
You guys went viral on TikTok. I don't even know if you know that.
That's their
Everybody
baby
come on
video
over.
when they were all
Seagulls,
babies.
too. People are actually afraid of you guys. Look.
And I like to nose boop them for fun.
Oh, hello, everybody.
What about the one where it jumped? What was it? I can't remember if it was the chipmunk that jumped on your camera. That cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that one was good. That one was good. I have a whole bunch in here where you could actually see me like catch them. Where is it? Here's one.
You were early.
Look at
Let me
this.
catch
This
you
is
one.
how you catch a
Here you go.
chipmunk.
Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on.
Boom. Look at
Oh,
that. Caught a
there's a
chipmunk.
Say a word,
Anyway,
fam. You were
That's
early.
it.
Let me
That's
catch you
enough
one.
about me.
Here you go.
So
Your joy brings me joy.
Chipmunk vacuum cleaner is one of my all-time favorites. I just keep laughing about it. It was just such a weird thing I improvised with a wild chipmunk, but just because it sounds like a crazy party story. It's like, if you don't have proof, no one's believing that, you know?
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah. All right. One thing that definitely is a source of happiness is, you know, teaming up as other humans to try to make the best of this life, as we all try to make our way through the confusion and figure out ways of living that strengthen us rather than weaken us, and sharing wisdom and helping each other in our unique journeys and cheering each other on and loving on each other, and just the power of friendship. And so I think tonight definitely brings me a lot of happiness just being with all of you here and everything else. So Let's do go team on 3, group hug, and we're out. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Go team! Group hug.
This is his jam. Love you guys.
I love it. All right.